everybody, and welcome to the Greenup Beacon Video News Magazine. I'm your host, Brittany Hoback, and today we have a great show planned. First up, I'll be interviewing Pam Wright, who is the Russell Primary Principal, and she is here with us today. And then next up, we will have a pre-recorded segment with Superintendent Sean Horn. And then after that, we will be in my kitchen cooking up a banana oatmeal bake, and it is very good. It'll be really nice for these cold mornings that'll be coming up. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
This is the Greenup Beacon News Magazine, a presentation of the Greenup Beacon and First and People's Bank and Trust. Also brought to you by Stoltz Pharmacy, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, Carmen Funeral Home, Meredith Chiropractic Office, and Tanya Pullen, State Representative. Your host today, Brittany Hoback, along with co-host Hank Bond and editor and producer Keith Adkins. This is an exclusive presentation of the Greenup Beacon, greenupbeacon.com, and greenupbeacon2.com. First and People's Bank has 6 convenient locations to serve you. From South Shore to the main office, First and People's Bank has been serving this area with complete banking services since 1932. Visit the home office near you. First and People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are the home office. Come visit any of our 6 locations.
The fine people at Carmen Funeral Home have been working with families in need for over 100 years. Carmen Funeral Home offers compassionate and caring services to those in their time of need, from pre-arrangement to final arrangements, with 2 convenient locations in Flatwoods and Russell. Carmen Funeral Home, putting people first since 1913.
Stoltz Pharmacy is now offering patients compounding for their prescription needs. Stoltz Pharmacy is the only pharmacy in the area that is PCCA certified. We can provide you with hormone replacement, neuropathy creams, scar creams, pediatric prescriptions, and we can even help you with your veterinarian needs. If you have any questions, please call 606-834-1052. That's 834-1052. Stoltz Pharmacy in Greenup, Flatwoods, and Wheelersburg. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stoltz Pharmacy.
Hello everybody, we are back, and again I'm here with Pam Wright, who is the Russell Primary School Principal. So how are you today, Pam?
I am awesome today.
Awesome.
It's a wonderful day.
That's what I like to hear.
It was warm like it was yesterday, but we'll take the...
I know. Unfortunately, I think we're heading into a little bit of a cold spell.
I think so too.
It was absolutely gorgeous yesterday. I mean, that was just... Went out on the porch and was trying to soak it all in because, like I said, I think we're taking a turn for the worse, unfortunately. Yeah, which is not going to be good for Friday night's football game.
It's gonna be so cold.
Yeah, thankfully I'm going to be up in the press box with my buddy Hank over there, and we have some heaters. Yeah, but what doesn't really work out very nice whenever we have to open up the window to run the camera. So I think I might have to take a couple extra heaters up there to compensate for the blast of cold air that comes through there. We could maybe try to just put Keith on the outside.
I was thinking sending Virgil out.
Oh, maybe my husband, we'll put him on the outside of the glass to run the camera. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think that works. You know, sacrifice him for the betterment of, the football team. Exactly. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, first off?
Well, I am from this area. I graduated from Boyd County High School. I am the only principal in Russell that did not graduate from Russell.
Oh.
But they have welcomed me in. I have put my time in. My mom was actually a 1961 graduate from Russell High School.
So you do have connections.
I do have connections. Graduated, I went to college to be an accountant, and I have a bachelor's degree in accounting from the University of Kentucky. And then I had lots of babies. I had my 3 babies. And whenever I was homeroom mom for my oldest daughter with Miss Tanya Evans, I decided that I had missed my true calling and that I wanted to be a teacher. And so put everything else on hold, and I went back to school. And so I have a degree in teaching. I have a separate bachelor's degree in teaching. I have a master's as a reading writing specialist, and I'm national board certified as well. And I have my administration.
No kidding. So the homeroom mother
Homeroom mother,
pushed you over the edge.
former accountant, homeroom mother, yes, got me excited.
Nice. So, so you started teaching then. Which school did you start teaching at?
I did my student teaching at Bellefonte Elementary the year that it was closing.
Okay.
And so then when they opened Russell Primary School, I was in that first tier of teachers to teach in the primary in 1997.
No kidding. So so you've always been in the primary?
I've always been in the primary. Well, actually, for 4 years, after teaching 9 years, I went to the high school for 4 years as assistant principal at Russell High School.
Okay, so you were there. So how long have you been the primary's principal?
This is my 5th year.
Your 5th year as a primary principal. Okay, so primary right now, because I know it's about to change, is kindergarten through 3rd grade.
Yes, it is.
So this is your last year for K through 3.
It is. We're going to have a big change next year. We're going to bring, currently the preschool is over at Russell McDowell. So we're going to bring all the preschool classes, and we're hoping to have about 6 preschool classes, and we're going to bring all of the preschool over to the primary.
Okay.
And then the 3rd grade will go over to the intermediate school. So intermediate will be 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and we will be preschool through 2.
Okay. So now, again, I didn't have young children. I inherited mine at, I think, 8 and 10. And so I think Sarah was at the primary then. So I sort of missed a lot of those years. But the preschoolers, did they go every day of the week?
It depends. There are 2 different types of preschool. One is ran more like a daycare type where they come every day, but we still have instruction, we have teachers.
Okay.
And then the other preschool is the Cara preschool, which is the state-funded, federal-funded preschool.
Okay.
And those students only come 2 days a week.
2 days a week, okay. And is there do they come at 4 years old, 3 years old? I mean, it's
3 and 4.
Okay, 3 and 4, all right. And then they're ready to put on their big boy shoes and
Move up to kindergarten.
kindergarten.
So that's going to help with our transition from preschool to kindergarten.
Sure.
So that'll be a good thing.
Exactly.
And actually, when the primary school was first built, it was built to have the preschool within the school, and we did have the preschool in the school. There were only 560 students, though, that first year that the primary school was open, and since then we've had up to 750 students. So whenever the crowding started and our numbers went up, then preschool went to McDowell, where they had a little bit more room. But now it just makes sense. Preschool's expanding. We're going to bring preschool back, and we're going to put the older students.
Okay, so McDowell is able to handle
Yes.
the 3rd graders going up. Okay, so that's interesting. So right now, though, you are the largest school in the district. And how many students do you have there now?
We have close to 700 right now.
Wow, that's a lot of young kids.
All under the age of 9.
Yeah, I bet that's some really noisy hallways, I could imagine.
Absolutely not, because we have these wonderful school expectations, and all the students walk on the blue, and they know to be zipped and flipped, and it's great, except for maybe at lunchtime.
Yeah, so zipped and flipped. Tell me what that is.
That is just, they know whenever they walk in the hallway, we have blue stripes on the sides of the walls, so they walk zipped and flipped and feet on blue and white. So they walk feet on blue and white, they're all in one line, and zipped is their arms are down, or zipped is their mouth is zipped and their arms are flipped.
How adorable. All right,
It works really well.
I'm sure that it does. So I imagine that, with these younger children, that, to be a preschool or kindergarten through 3rd grade primary level teacher, that I guess teaching skills have to be a little bit different for this age group. And imagine you would have to have some gifted teachers here. I know that I myself could never do this.
Lots of patience.
Yes, exactly.
And very structured.
Yes.
It was really different going from the primary school to the high school, because you go into a high school classroom and you don't see all of the classroom management strategies that you have to have at the primary.
Sure.
Because the students are young.
Yes.
And some of them are not accustomed to being in school, and so we have to establish all of those expectations at that time. And then once they get to the high school, they're all set and they're ready to go. And so it's all of the teaching that's the big focus there, and whereas we have to spend a lot of time on the expectations in the classroom management.
Sure, and just structure and just patience.
There has to be a procedure for everything.
Yes.
And that was the first thing that I learned as a brand new teacher. I came home one day and I said, oh my gosh, you even have to have a procedure for how you get up and sharpen your pencil, because if you don't have a procedure for everything, it's going to be bad.
Sure, it's just going to be
They're going to take over.
Madness.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, since you're losing the third graders to to McDowell, third grade is actually where you start your testing.
That's where K-Prep testing begins.
Okay, so this proves another challenge for you because you have the testing at that level, and then you're now going to lose them to, I guess, to interpret your scoring. So I guess you don't get to celebrate in essence. So you have those scores, and then now next year they're going to go. So I guess, what do you do with that now?
Well, that challenge has always been there, being K through 3, and the assessment just taking place in the 3rd grade. And one of my challenges is making sure that all of the teachers understand that that assessment may take place in the 3rd grade, but we all have a piece of that from kindergarten all the way up to the 3rd grade. And if the kindergarten teacher does not do her job or his job, then it makes it tougher for 1st, 2nd, and then you can't rely on everything just to happen in that 3rd grade year. So that testing is a part of all of the teachers that have come before that 3rd grade year.
Sure.
And so whenever we do our test score analysis, it's just as important for the kindergarten teacher to be there as it is for that 3rd grade teacher to be there. And so we will continue that, and whenever we have our great test scores, we will celebrate that K through 2 just like we have always done.
Exactly. So they will be going up to the McDowell, and again, like I said, you're just going to focus on now your preschool. Now you have that level to incorporate into making sure that these test scores are met. And you actually, your school is a distinguished.
We are a distinguished school this year as a school for the first time as a district.
Okay.
We're continuing to be distinguished.
So what does being a distinguished school mean?
Well, according to the state, it just means that we're in the top percentage of schools across the state. For us, it was something that we felt like we should have had all along because we've got the best students and we've got the greatest teachers, and we feel like what we are doing is really great at Russell Primary School. And so for the first year, whenever the new test scores came out and we were designated as a proficient school, that was great, and we celebrated that, and that's good. That's where everybody, where they want everybody to be. But we challenged ourselves. Even the state gave us a goal, and we wanted to go above that goal because we knew that we were distinguished.
Sure.
And that's where we wanted to be.
All right. Well, let's see here. I know that you guys have some upcoming events for the holidays because it is, Turkey Day and Christmas that is coming up. So what are some of the things that the students are going to be involved in at school?
Well, right now we are on December 4th. We're getting prepared we have Festival of Trees for our school, and it's kind of like the Paramount's Festival of Trees. We have all of our parents and our community members come into the primary school. Every 2 classrooms, they work together to develop a themed tree. Usually it's around some type of literature book.
Okay.
And we invite parents in. We have Santa Claus there. We get pictures with Santa, and we have hot chocolate and cookies. And it's just a great family evening at our school.
All right, well, that's great. So we're going to take a break and have a few commercials, and then we'll be back and we'll talk some more about Russell Primary.
Okay, thank you.
At Meredith Chiropractic, you will enjoy state-of-the-art chiropractic facilities and discover the true wellness lifestyle. Dr. Terry Meredith is a member of Great Doctors of Chiropractic and has helped many in the Ashland area experience natural healing without surgery or drugs. If you're looking for a skilled chiropractic doctor, visit meredithchiropractic.com, call 329-8158, or visit Dr. Meredith's office at 2120 Carter Avenue in Ashland. At Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, our patients are priority number 1. For the 7th straight year, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital has received HealthGrade's Outstanding Patient Experience Award. The hospital continues to place in the top 5% of the nation for outstanding patient experience. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital says thank you to our patients for this People's Choice honor. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, on a mission of good health for you and your family. First and People's Bank has 6 convenient locations to serve you. From South Shore to the main office, First and People's Bank has been serving this area with complete banking services since 1932. Visit the home office near you. First and People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are the home office. Come visit any of our 6 locations.
You know, I was
Hi, I'm Julie Reeves. You're watching GreenupBeacon.com, a member of the Beacon Media Group.
because the force, it's got a lot of power, and it makes me feel like that.
We are back, and again, I'm here with Pam Wright, who is the Russell Primary School Principal. And so we're going to talk just a little bit, I guess, to give folks an idea of what it's like for a teacher or administrator, even for a typical day for preschool. Or we'll start with the preschool or kindergarten.
Okay, well, we'll start with kindergarten because I haven't really experienced the preschool
Preschoolers,
yet.
right, exactly.
And so that will be new for us next
Okay.
year. Kindergarten, you know, all of our students in our school, kindergarten through third grade, their days are very similar.
Okay.
Because we have a huge focus on literacy in our school.
Okay.
And this year we're starting something new. We're starting Rock the Block period at the very beginning of the school day. And that is where we're just being real intentional and looking at all of the test scores and all of the data that we have on all of the students and grouping them so that we can give some intense instruction.
Okay.
In kindergarten, that's a little bit different because they are doing that in the afternoon because their
Okay.
morning block is pretty set. But so in kindergarten, they are just being grouped differently for literacy, depending on what they need. Because whenever you come into school in kindergarten, some of the students are already reading, and some students are just being introduced to letters and letter sounds.
Sure.
So that's really important for that grade level. For all of the other grade levels, this period is very important as well because the first through third grade, we are looking at getting all of the students who tend to be a little bit behind. We want to get them all moving forward.
Sure.
Our goal as a school is to have all students reading on grade level by the time that they leave the primary setting.
Okay.
Because all research and studies show that at the end of third grade, that's the end of the very intense instruction in reading. And so we're very passionate about that. So literacy throughout the day.
Is just very important, and I know that I preach it at our home as well. I mean, that reading is definitely where it's at, you know, and I know that I've said it several times in interviews before that it's more than Facebook posts and Twitter posts and things like that, that it's reading as, I mean, ACTs, MCATs, everything is, I mean, you've got to be able to read information, and it transcends into your understanding of math and you know, it's just it's not just about English. It goes over all subject areas, and it's so important. Now, do they still have AR goals? I know that was something that my kids had when they were younger.
We still have AR goals. That's not the total focus. We have lots of goals now.
Okay.
We take the MAP test, and the students set their goals for MAP so that
Okay.
they move forward with that. They have lots of different goals. They have goal notebooks within the classroom.
Okay.
AR, that is a motivational tool that we use to get the students reading more.
Sure.
One of the biggest things that we do is our response to intervention, and that is where we are taking all of the assessment data through the STAR, which that's the assessment for the AR.
Okay.
The STAR and the MAP assessments and all of our formative assessments and our teacher's recommendation, and we look at each individual child, and with that response to intervention, we create lessons that are very intense.
Okay.
And targeted for our students.
So I know you were speaking about, you know, having groups of students based on their, you know, ability or lack of ability to read. How is it with, you know, having the number of teachers available, you know, to sort of divvy that up? I mean,
Well, thankfully, this year, for the first time, we have our music teacher full-time in our building.
Okay, great.
And we have our PE teacher full-time in our building. And next year, it looks like we're going to have our art teacher as well. So with all of these people in our building, it has freed up our schedule a little bit.
Okay,
so
great.
in that first hour, we don't have any special classes or anything. So all hands on deck. We have people going into classrooms. We have our Title I instructional assistants going into the classrooms. Also, we're a reading recovery training site.
Okay.
So we have 3 reading recovery teachers. So during that time, they are also working with students. So
All right,
we just
great.
put everybody that we can. And it's been great seeing our PE teacher, Miss Fleming, and Miss Pennington, our music teacher, working with students in that first
Sure,
block.
sure, yeah, which makes it, you know, like I said, when you've got those people available to go in and really,
It's
you know,
nice.
you know, pull weight in all different directions, you know, which is really beneficial. And you were saying about, you know, music and PE. So do the students in K through 3 have a specific music class and
Oh,
a specific
absolutely.
PE class?
Once a week.
Which is great. I like to see it possibly more, because, which would be really nice, especially with those youngsters with all that energy. And with music, we had kinder music.
My kids all did kids.
Really, yes. She was in here a couple weeks ago, and just
a wonderful
with
program.
exactly, and like to see music having such a benefit again across the board, not just with the music, but just with learning, and especially at this young age, kids are such sponges for.
That's one of my favorite classes to go into. Miss Pennington does a great job, and the kids are all learning and having fun with it.
Yeah,
So it's good.
absolutely. So do the kids in these younger grade levels, do they see, the sciences and the social studies and things like that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
They
great.
have, everything is integrated into the literacy.
Okay.
And so it's truly, and if you don't integrate, it's very hard to get everything in.
Sure.
You can't segment everything. But they have science and social studies, and they have careers, and they learn about, they have health, all of it's integrated into the literacy.
All right, perfect. So now how is the parent involvement? Our parents, these days, I know everybody is so busy, and do you find that it's easy to get parents involved, or that it's more difficult?
At the primary age, it is not a difficult thing to get parents involved. They are there, they want to be there. We have a fabulous PTA, and without all of the work that they do, we would not have a lot of the stuff that we have in our school. They initiated getting all the technology into our classrooms and everything, so they're just wonderful, and I cannot say enough about them. But as far as parents coming in, we have parent volunteers. Our book is just full of parents wanting to come in and volunteer. We have them sign in at the beginning of the day when they come in, and it's just great. Lots of hours every year.
Which
with
is
our
great.
parents.
And you never know, there might be a new future teacher.
Absolutely.
Homeroom
They could volunteer, and
exactly.
they could decide that's what their true
They
calling
said,
is,
"Oh, I
never
should
know."
be a teacher and the future principal someday."
I think that does happen occasionally. Because
Well, I'm
we've-
sure it does. Yes.
We've had some people that have gone back to school to do
Yeah,
that.
they have their babies, and then they think, well, and they come
It's
and they
fun.
help out, and they say, well, why not?
Right.
Exactly. You just never know.
Develop that passion.
Exactly. So I guess we'll wrap up today with just what are your goals for your school, especially with this transition coming for this year and then for the next year?
Well, the biggest goal is to make sure that this transition goes smoothly so that the teachers feel comfortable about it, and that we have everything in place so that we have something new coming in next year, that it will run smoothly like what it has for the last, well, this is the 18th year of the primary school. And so we're already working on that. We have plans. We're developing, what hallways different teachers are going to be in, and we're going to try to get all of that information out to our teachers as soon as possible
Sure.
to ease their mind. And we're going to be talking about it in a faculty meeting today.
Oh, great.
And so it's just all this pre-planning to get everything in place so that whenever the time comes,
It's
it'll all
ready.
go smooth.
Yes. Well, good luck with that. And like I said, a lot of those youngsters, within the hallways, and it's just amazing. Like I said, all of the pre-planning that
Oh,
goes
it's
involved.
great.
Like I said, and this is going to be happening next year, and you guys are already talking about it at a
Right.
meeting today, which is amazing. And thank you so much for all the work that you do, and
Thank you.
and developing these youngsters
I
into
love what I do.
future leaders of tomorrow. We really appreciate it, and thank you for coming down here for the interview. And you have a wonderful day, and stay warm.
I'll try.
Exactly. And we'll be right back with an interview with a pre-recorded interview with Superintendent Sean Horn.
The fine people at Carmen Funeral Home have been working with families in need for over 100 years. Carmen Funeral Home offers compassionate and caring services to those in their time of need, from pre-arrangement to final arrangements, with 2 convenient locations in Flatwoods and Russell. Carmen Funeral Home, putting people first since 1913.
Stoltz Pharmacy is now offering patients compounding for their prescription needs. Stoltz Pharmacy is the only pharmacy in the area that is PCCA certified. We can provide you with hormone replacement, neuropathy creams, scar creams, pediatric prescriptions, and we can even help you with your veterinarian needs. If you have any questions, please call 606-834-1052. That's 834-1052. Stoltz Pharmacy in Greenup, Flatwoods, and Wheelersburg. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stoltz Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brittany Hoback, and you're watching GreenupBeacon.com.
We're with Superintendent of Schools Sean Horn here at Russell Independent Schools. And Sean, a lot going on in your district, and I thought I'd stop by and we'd try to have our little monthly conversation. So the big thing that's going on is a high school activity that we talked about a little bit. Let's talk about the plans for this ACT prep program and the district cooperation you're trying to build.
Before we begin, as always, I'd like to thank you, Hank, for allowing me the opportunity to speak about the district. Yeah, the ACT prep, that is an adventure right now. We're in the very preliminary stages of that. I've had some conversation with Superintendent Horsley and been in contact with Superintendent Coldiron at Raceland and Greenup respectively. And we really want to do something. A lot of our kids right now will travel some good distances to have some ACT preparation. And we've been collaborating with Ashland Community and Technical College, Dr. Atkins and Steve Woodburn. Really appreciate both of them. Looking at using their facility to do some ACT preparation. That's kind of unique. It's something that we've never done because we would like to have that at a site that is not necessarily representative of any of our school districts. We definitely want to offer our juniors and seniors the opportunity to get some ACT preparation at a location that would not have a Russell designation or a Greenup designation or a Raceland designation. It'll be about Greenup County. And we've had some good conversation. Hopefully next week the three superintendents and the three high school principals will be able to maybe carve out some time so that we can kind of talk about the logistics of that. And, we've got some things that, we're looking at setting up some sessions for parents and giving them information about FAFSA, KEYS money, the beginning stages of getting prepared to go to college. We've got really big plans. We want to start small and make sure that, we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's. But I think this is something that if it goes off really well in collaboration with the college, that we can probably continue to do in the future. And, ultimately, at the end of the day, every kid from every school district can benefit from that. And, ACT is very content specific. If you have a child that struggles in math, it would give them an opportunity to be with one of the best teachers in one of the three districts, maybe and able to get some specific math instruction and test-taking strategies and tips to improve their ACT. As you know, we've talked a lot about K-Prep and the importance of that, but the bottom line is, any kid that's looking to move into college, whether it be a 2-year institution or a 4-year institution, that ACT is a critical piece to it. And as we've explained to our kids, and I'm sure that conversation took place in the other districts, there's a lot of money that's tied to that, and 1 point can mean thousands of dollars. So we want to put our kids in Greenup County in the best possible situation so that they can really get a lot of experience and be able to have a good day collaborating with peers from other districts, and hopefully that'll be a benefit to them.
A couple more things about this. One, the state has mandated that all juniors take the ACT test. It's not an option.
It is not optional.
And additionally, unless it's changed, and I sent 4 to college and you went to college, you either have, some schools accept the SAT scores, but I believe all Kentucky schools require an ACT score.
Yeah, that's correct. And, our juniors, that's part of our accountability process at the high school level as far as all juniors. And actually, in all of our districts, we have kids that are taking that. My son last year as a 7th grader took the ACT. My wife and I had, little expectations, but we wanted him to get accustomed to the process and what that was going to be like. Like I said, we want to put our kids in, when I went to high school, not that wasn't, not that there wasn't emphasis placed on it, but not the way.
It's just a test you took.
It's not the way that it is today.
No. And schools weren't ranked by that. I mean, fortunately, in this last batch of test results released, Russell was at the top of the Eastern Kentucky scale. But you could fall, and then you have to make adjustments to that.
Absolutely, and a lot of folks are not familiar with the way the system is set up right now. Our 8th graders take the Explorer test. our 10th graders take the plan test, and our 11th graders take the ACT. All of those assessments are packaged in the ACT. So the Explorer is kind of like the miniature version of that, so to speak, and it gives you a projection of how they'll do on the plan. And then the plan will give them a projection of how they'll do on the ACT. We want to prepare our kids. We want our kids to be familiar with how to take the assessment, and we definitely want our kids to be successful. But the bottom line is we're really trying to help our parents because there are major dollars that's tied to that.
Right.
And especially, like, as you mentioned, if they stay in state, there's a lot of incentive for us to continue to push our kids and make sure that they have all the tools to be able to sit down and do a quality job on that assessment.
One of the things that I've seen in post-secondary education in Kentucky is for years that they would go out of state and look for blue chippers, and now they realize that their best bet is to start from the center and recruit their own blue chippers before trying to attract out-of-state students, which magnifies the amount of money it takes because out-of-state costs more.
Absolutely. And, we have quite a few kids that attend Morehead State. We have quite a few kids that attend the University of Louisville, quite a few kids that attend University of Kentucky, and on and on and on. There's a lot of emphasis. Again, I don't want to make light of K-Prep by no means, but if you really want to see how your kids stack up nationally, the ACT is where it's at.
So let's move on now. You have other things going on in the district, so let's talk about, let's stay at the high school for just a minute. High school and middle school, your academic teams are starting to crank up, your archery team's starting to crank up, your science Olympiad. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Had a conversation with one of our coaches last night, and we for multiple years at both levels, we've been state champions in science Olympiad. We're very proud of that. But it's crazy to think that, we feel like that season just ended, and now we're in the beginning stages of preparing to do it all over again. Staying with the Science Olympiad, countless hours. Those kids put in countless hours. Talked to a parent about the build events last night, and they were talking about some sort of ball projecting so far and all the math and science that's involved in that. Very complicated.
Right.
And, our kids are very serious about that and had a lot of success. Academic team received notice from our high school coach, Kirk Barnett. Our academic team competed in Dayton, Ohio, did very well, qualified for NAQT, which we've been involved in for the past few years. That's back in full force. Middle school, my son is fortunate enough to participate in that. They're practicing after school now and before school, so we're in full swing as far as the academic side of it. You mentioned archery. That's kind of a sport that a lot of folks don't really talk about a lot, and I think it's just kind of an unknown where it's still new in the state of Kentucky. Man, it's great for us because we have a slew of kids.
Joe Aldridge, I believe.
Joe Aldridge is our high school coach that's involved in that. And we have an absolute slew of kids that's involved. And I'd say we have well over 100 kids that's participating in that. And that's gaining a lot of speed here locally. They actually use the Cuyahoga Mall, and Coach Aldridge told me that they were going to permanently have that set up like now through March.
Right.
And each school in the area is going to be able to host a tournament. We're already phasing into the winter sports and the winter activities, and it's full swing.
One of the big things I want to point out about, and we might grow Joe's head a little bit, but he's also part of the academic side. He's not just a jock coach. He is also part of the academic team.
Yeah, he teaches physics at the high school. He teaches some math sections at the high school. Solid teacher, and he's basically doing double duty right now.
Right.
He is archery coach, and he is fully covered up during Science Olympiad season and does a phenomenal job. Like I said, a lot of our teachers actually use their own time at home, have equipment at home to help set things up and work with our kids. And he's one of many that does a great job for us there.
The intermediate school is in the throes of the Leader in Me, and just talk a little bit about that. I know it won't be fully rolled out until the end of this month, but Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, they're having a leadership day on November 21st at Russell McDowell. For the past couple years, Russell McDowell's been designated as a Leader in Me school. Long story short on that, that's based around Stephen Covey's 7 Habits. For first day those kids walk into Russell McDowell, they're kind of indoctrinated into the 7 Habits, and that basically drives what they do during the day. Miss Aldridge and her staff is really bought into that, and it's starting to filter out. There's actually a group that's headed up with Miss Aldridge is a part of that. Some Greenup County folks, some folks at KDC that's plugged into. I think Argolite Elementary, very fond of Argolite.
You were principal
I was principal at Argolite. They're plugged into the Leader in Me, and they're doing some Leader in Me initiatives there. Brock Walter, Superintendent Boyd County, he's looking at possibly bringing some Leader in Me things there. So it's good character. It's something that's been there for a long time, but we're kind of refocusing and circling back to character and integrity and treating folks with respect. It's giving the kids a clear focus of what they need to do, and it's a great program. And Miss Aldridge is hosting that on November the 21st. I've seen invitations out to all the local superintendents and get information to their principals and possibly participating in that. We're going to have a big shindig over there on the 21st, and really look forward to that. It's a great program, and definitely folks are available to come out and support that. Get with me. I'd be happy to share information.
Good. Our time's up. Next time we visit, we'll talk about the middle school and the primary school.
Okay. Again, Hank, thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Sean.
People's Bank has 6 convenient locations to serve you. From South Shore to the main office, First and People's Bank has been serving this area with complete banking services since 1932. Visit the home office near you. First and People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are the home office. Come visit any of our 6 locations.
The fine people at Carmen Funeral Home have been working with families in need for over 100 years. Carmen Funeral Home offers compassionate and caring services to those in their time of need, from pre-arrangement to final arrangements. With 2 convenient locations in Flatwoods and Russell, Carmen Funeral Home, putting people first since 1913.
And coming up next is Brittany Hoback as we spend some time in her kitchen, as we will now bring you the segment on baked oatmeal. I couldn't eat any, but I will tell you we both feasted on the roasted macadamia nuts after the recipe was done. So here's Brittany.
Hello everybody, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a great recipe called oatmeal banana bake. This will be a great recipe to use, especially for the upcoming holiday seasons, whenever we have Turkey Day coming up and you have a lot of people staying over at your house and you're getting ready to make those turkey, and you want to make a quick breakfast for everybody. So you'll whip up this recipe and have a nice breakfast that everybody can dig into while you're getting ready to prepare the turkey and the mashed potatoes and the stuffing and all that good stuff. So get your pen and paper ready, and also go on to greenupbeacon.com or greenupbeacon2.com and get the ingredients for this recipe. So here they are. You will need 2 1/4 cup of, I actually use this Bob's Red Mill 5-grain hot cereal. If you cannot find this, you can just use regular rolled oats for this. But I actually found this in the organic section of Kroger's. You will also need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and you will combine those ingredients together in one bowl. And then in another bowl, which is the wet ingredients bowl, you will combine 1/4 cup of honey, 1 1/2 cup of milk, and then 2 to 3 mashed bananas, and 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then after that, you will combine the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients, and then you will grease an 8x8 pan, and you will have your oven preheated at 375 degrees, and you'll go ahead and put that oatmeal banana bake into your pan and pop it in the oven for about 20 minutes. And then you're going to go ahead and put some, I have macadamia nuts, but if you want to use pecans or walnuts instead, you can put that on there for about the last 5 or 10 minutes so that they have a nice little roast on the top. And then go ahead and bring that out, and you're going to want to serve this warm. You can serve it with warm milk or just eat it plain with a little bit of honey drizzled on top. And that is the recipe, and it's fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we are going to mix our dry ingredients first. So this is the 2 1/4 cups of the Bob's Red Mill 5-grain hot cereal. This actually has a couple different things in it. It has wheat, rye, barley, and flaxseed along with the regular oats in it. It's very good. So 1 cup. Two cups. And another 1/4 cup. So again, if you cannot find this cereal, you can just go ahead and use regular oats. No big deal. And then you will use 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And again, we are mixing the dry ingredients in 1 bowl. Put in there. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So this is my dry ingredients bowl. My dogs are in the other room over there, and they're having a ball with their new rawhide, so I apologize for them in the background. So we'll go ahead and set this to the side. And then in this other bowl, we are going to mix our wet ingredients. And this is going to be 1/4 cup of honey. Rawhide control there, yes, exactly. Alright. And you're going to save some of this for when it comes out of the oven, because this drizzled over top of this one as warm is excellent. It needs a little coaxing to come out. Fork like that. And then we will need 1 1/2 cup of milk. Cup of milk. Then I'm going to use, you can use 2 or 3 bananas. I always go for the 3. I'm going to go ahead and use my fingers to mash this. It always looks good inside the wedding ring, smashed bananas. Now, I actually have seen this recipe also where you can put other fruit in here. I think that some pineapple or even some dried fruit like cranberries or even some sliced apples. A tart apple would be nice in this recipe. Alright, so my smashed bananas. And we're going to go ahead and put 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. A little extra. And then we also have one large egg that has, we're going to go ahead and lightly beat it in this bowl here before we add it. I'm going to go ahead and add that and give it a mix. Bananas and the honey. And again, we want to make sure that our oven has been turned on to 375 degrees. And it's warming up. Smash the bananas up there nice with your fork. I'm going to go ahead and add my dry ingredients. Go ahead and mix this up. And like I said, I was able to find this Bob's Red Mill grain cereal in the organic section of Kroger's. And I believe they have a 7 grain and a 10 grain as well, and I'm sure that you could use that. But again, if you couldn't find that, you can use regular oats. I'm actually going to go ahead and give this a little dash of cinnamon to give it a little bit more flavor. I'm going to warm that up with a little dash of cinnamon. I think I inherited this don't be afraid to season things from my grandmother. Add a little of this and a little bit of that. Alright, so I have my bananas all good and smashed in there. So you're going to want to grab your 8x8 pan, and you are going to lightly spray this, but I have ran out of spray, so I am actually going to grease this. So here is some Crisco, and I'm going to take a baggie or saran wrap, whichever you have, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up and just take some on the baggie and go ahead and just coat the inside of the pan with the Crisco. You could do this with butter too. So that your oatmeal bake doesn't stick. I think the cooking spray that I did have was olive oil flavored, and I didn't think that that would be very good with a banana oatmeal bake. All right. So now we have our pan greased. We're going to go ahead and dump our mixture into our 8x8 pan. Spread it out. So now we're going to go ahead and place this into the oven for about 20 minutes. And then at the end of 20 minutes, we're going to go ahead and take it out of the oven and put our nuts on the top. So again, I'm using the macadamia nuts because I like macadamia nuts with the bananas. It gives a kind of a Hawaiian flair to it. But again, you can use walnuts or pecans, and then put it back in the oven for about another 5 to 10 minutes so that the nuts are nice and toasty on top. And then we'll go ahead and take it out of the oven. And again, you want to serve this warm. You can serve it with milk or plain with a little bit of honey on top. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven, and then we'll take it out and we'll show you what the finished product looks like. All right, everybody, so now that we have baked our oatmeal for the first 20 minutes, it is looking nice and fluffy. We are going to go ahead and add our nuts to the top, and I have put them all the way out here. So I'm going to add our macadamia nuts to the top of our mixture here. And it smells absolutely delicious. So we are going to go ahead and put our oatmeal bake back into the oven for about another 5 to 10 minutes and let it finish baking. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then it will be ready for us to eat. So we're going to go ahead and put this back into the oven. Okay, we have reached the final stage of this very good oatmeal banana bake, and I have taken this out of the oven, and you can see that the macadamia nuts have toasted up very nicely. So we put this in for 5 minutes, and you can see that that was absolutely plenty to get these nuts toasted up. And so the total baking time for this was 20 minutes, and then we took it out and put the nuts on top and put it in there for another 5 minutes at 375 degrees. So this is ready to eat. We'll let it cool for just a little bit, and then we can go ahead and slice it up. And again, you want to serve this warm, and this will make a very, very good dish to serve up for breakfast or for even for a brunch. And this will be a great thing to serve up, especially for Turkey Day or for Christmas holiday, when you have a lot of people that you need to serve up a quick breakfast for while you're getting ready to prepare your turkey or prepare up your Thanksgiving and holiday dinners. And drizzle it up with some honey or even some maple syrup, which is very good. That's how I ate it the other day, and it was excellent. Make sure you go on to greenupbeacon.com or greenupbeacon2.com for the recipe instructions. And tune in every Wednesday at 1 o'clock for this recipe and many others. Until next time, I'm Brittany Hoback.
At Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, our patients are priority number one. For the 7th straight year, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital has received HealthGrade's Outstanding Patient Experience Award. The hospital continues to place in the top 5% of the nation for outstanding patient experience. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital says thank you to our patients for this People's Choice honor. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, on a mission of good health for you and your family.
At Meredith Chiropractic, you will enjoy state-of-the-art chiropractic facilities and discover the true wellness lifestyle. Dr. Terry Meredith is a member of Great Doctors of Chiropractic and has helped many in the Ashland area experience natural healing without surgery or drugs. If you're looking for a skilled chiropractic doctor, visit meredithchiropractic.com, call 329-8158, or visit Dr. Meredith's office at 2120 Carter Avenue in Ashland. At Meredith.
Hi, I'm Julie Reeves. You're watching greenupbeacon.com, a member of the Beacon Media Group.
Because the force, it's got a lot of power, and it makes me feel like
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope that you enjoyed our show. I want to give a special thank you to our guest today, Pam Wright from the Russell Primary School. She's a principal there. And thank you so much for joining us. She's got a really special job with all those young minds that she's helping to mold and corral every day. Also, thank you to Superintendent Sean Horn for his pre-recorded interview. And the baked oatmeal that was on our episode today, you can find the recipe on greenupbeacon.com and greenupbeacon2.com. And remember that all of our episodes are archived on the website, so you can go there for the recipes and, of course, all of the interviews. Next week, we have an interview with Karen Sperry, who is from the American Cancer Society. She'll be talking about the Great American Smokeout, which is coming up, so you want to stay tuned for that. And also Heather Aldrich, who is the principal for Russell McDowell Intermediate School. And also an author, writer, Damian Witt. So he will be joining us next week at 1 p.m. So please join us next week on greenupbeacon.com and greenupbeacon2.com. Until next week. Oh, yes, and I cannot forget to mention that we are here this week and, of course, all the past weeks, and, of course, next week we will be here at the McConnell House. We want to thank the board so much for letting us be here. It's been a wonderful place to have our guests come and do our interviews, and, of course, it's beautiful. The scenery here has been great, and they'll have it all decorated up for the Christmas holidays, so we're looking forward to that, and just want to say thank you very much for letting us be here. So, again, till next time, I'm Brittany Hoback.
This is the Greenup Beacon News Magazine, a presentation of the Greenup Beacon and First and People's Bank and Trust. Also brought to you by Stoltz Pharmacy, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital, Carmen Funeral Home, Meredith Chiropractic Office, and Tanya Pullen, State Representative. Your host today, Brittany Hoback, along with co-host Hank Bond and editor and producer Keith Adkins. This is an exclusive presentation of the Greenup Beacon, greenupbeacon.com, and greenupbeacon2.com.